Oh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe it. Lila, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Bobby?
I'm
It's
good.
great to see you.
I know it's been like a year, and I will explain in the post that Lila gets a special bonus to be on the show a second time. Most people don't get on the show a second time, but she did. Was helping out Brian Shulman, so she wasn't really on the show by herself. And I really what I love about Lila is she wanted to come on and talk about something very personal that a lot of people don't typically want to talk about, and they want to keep it private. And it's about constipation. So
The
let's get started.
Constitution.
Huh?
The Constitution. The United States Constitution.
What the hell is the U.S. Constitution?
Well, it makes a lot of people very constipated. I think I think that
I
it's
thought we
something
were
that
going
we
to
get
talk
like
about. I thought,
constipated in our thoughts, right? Because we can't unravel it. We can't let go of what we think. So there
well,
are some similarities
I'm a
in our
bear.
communication.
What
I
is it?
know.
I don't even know what the
So the
Constitution is.
United States Constitution was written a long time ago by a bunch of old white landowners and
Uh huh.
people owners.
Uh huh.
Um, but
So
what was
so hold on.
beautiful about it,
So right out of the box, it's
yeah,
probably got kind of crappy, right? There's probably
actually, it's a beautiful living document that
right.
allowed the United States of America and its citizens to change what it contained as our society evolved. To have a Bill of Rights, we have amendments to the Constitution. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 of many amendments to the Constitution,
Uh huh.
not having assumed that they got it all right the first time, which
Gotcha.
I think for a bunch of old white male landowners and
Not
people
bad,
owners
huh? Not
hundreds of
bad.
years ago, not bad to assume we don't all know everything all the time.
Gotcha.
So to immediately start by creating a law doctrine called the U.S. Constitution,
Uh huh.
which would guide how we govern ourselves here in the United States of America, they started with being open to the fact that maybe things would change. And
Ah.
what they created was a living document. So
Ah.
I carry a copy of this around with me all the time, not just because I'm proud to be an American, which I
Uh-huh.
am, but because I think it's an incredible piece of communication. It's this amazing document that has so much that's open for interpretation, a lot of gray area.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite part? What's your favorite amendment?
And gray area, if you're writing it on this, is very hard to do. I mean, my favorite amendment is the first one, free speech
Uh-huh.
and freedom of, like being free to be you and me,
Oh, wait.
basically, which I think was a show a few years back, free
I've
to be you and me.
I've heard of. You know what? I've talked about this with some of my other bear cousins. I think you guys have a right to bear arms too, right?
We have a right to not your arms
Yeah, we don't
in
like that.
particular.
That's the one
Right.
we don't like because you
So,
guys are shooting us in the woods. That's the
well,
hunting one. That's we don't like that one.
I
That's the one that
promise
us
to
bears don't like.
never
Nope.
shoot
Why
any
are you guys?
bears, and I
Why?
don't think anybody should.
Yeah.
Like,
Why are
we
you
don't
guys
need
shooting at?
bears for food. Like, we can wear other things for clothes. We don't need to be shooting bears for anything anymore, other than ego. But
You
like,
know.
you can have your arms, and I've got my right to protect your arms,
Good. Good.
as long as they're in my house, right? Like, let's say your bear arms are in my house. I
Gotcha.
have the right within my house to bear arms, to have arms, and arms meaning
I've got
like,
arms.
a full suit of armor, or right, you could have a full suit of armor, you could have a spear, you could have a gun, you could have a machete, and people usually talk about it in relation to gun rights, which we
Gotcha.
have, that the Constitution has given us. But if we look at the law, if we look at how it's written, even in the Second Amendment, the first few words, and I'll open it up. I have my
You
Constitution
have a
right
copy. Oh, yeah, that
here.
must
I have
that
a
must
copy. I
that
carry
must
it all the time.
that must piss some people off when they get into an argument.
I don't care.
That's good. I like that. You go. Let's pull it out right now.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you know what? And it's not have that many constitutional conversations, because too many people are too constipated with their own thoughts
That's
to
right.
think about the Constitution.
I I,
But
I thought they
I
were.
have it.
I thought
And
we
I
were going to
have it
talk
as
about.
like an example of gray area communication.
I thought we were going to
So
talk
here
about adding fiber to the diet, but this is good. This is
we
better.
look at, I know you did.
Okay.
You should definitely make sure you have enough fiber. It's very important for heart health
Absolutely.
and for all kinds of things. But here in the amendments to the Constitution, which are on page 25 of my mini Constitution, Amendment 2, it starts with 3 words that are completely open to interpretation.
Okay.
A well-regulated militia.
Yeah, that's right.
So it starts a well-regulated militia, comma, and this is important. And I'm trained in reading Shakespeare, right? So a comma means like, okay, stop. It's not like you like full stop, but it means like the next bit changes the meaning of what you just said. Okay. Or it modifies it in some way. A well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma. So let's say that second part modifies the first. Then you have questions to ask. Well, are they asking? If you're reading this law right now in your day and age, is it necessary to have a well-regulated militia to ensure the security of your free state? So it's already questions built in to the right. And then yes, we have the right, but we also have to ask these questions.
But didn't the Supreme Court, that's your guys' big court, didn't they do something where they actually said that extends to individual rights now? Is that what
it does? I mean, our individual rights. So when you define militia, it is up to the courts, and we have a multiple. We have 3 parts of our government. We've got the legislative, which is the Congress and the Senate. We've got the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court, and then we've got the executive branch, which is the President of the United States of America.
I'll tell you, there's to bring it into social media, there's an amendment in there. I have heard about this. There's an amendment in there that many people on social media should practice. It's that right to remain silent.
Okay, what's the amendment that the people on social media should practice?
The right to remain silent.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people get arrested for posting their crimes?
That's number 5. So if you ever hear people say, like, I plead the 5th, right? Like, the 5th Amendment to the United States Constitution is like, you don't actually have to incriminate yourself just because somebody asks you to.
I plead the 5th, but I posted this video of me pranking somebody illegally. And now it's being used against me in a court of law, and I'm going to jail. Yeah.
Well, good luck sending a bear to jail.
Exactly, right? That's the one. So, well, that's really good. I'm glad. Thanks for taking the time. Now I feel up to speed on the Constitution.
You know what? The final thing is that I must make clear to you and to anybody else studying this is that First Amendment, the right to free speech, it protects you from being sent to prison or being otherwise punished by the government. What it doesn't do is protect you from losing customers. It doesn't protect you from losing friends. And it doesn't mean that if you sound like a jerk, anybody else has to be your friend, because they've got the freedom of expression too. If their expression is, I don't want people like you around me, and I don't want to pay people like you, that's what's going to happen. That's what free speech really means on both sides. That's it. That's pretty much like my main reasons why I love the document, why I carry it with me, and why I'm always up for discussion.
Well, that's awesome. So now you know that. So when you run into Lila during one of her events, talk the Constitution with her. She'll whip it right out of her.
I got it.
Like a gun. She'll whip it out like a gun.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
Cute. Sean Nico recovered it for me, and I just love it so much. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thanks for coming on Talk to the Bear, and you helped name that hashtag, so I appreciate it.
Hey, Talk to the Bear.
Thank you.
Bye.